Should we talk Man United, Adam? It's going to be you're going to be more up for it than you usually are.
Yeah, man. I mean, it was a good win at the weekend. I don't want to get too carried away. Obviously, we got a difficult game coming up on Sunday, a more difficult game as well, because I don't think we'll come up against a defence like we saw Manchester City have in that derby. Obviously, City have better defenders, but we were kind of fortunate to come up against the defence they had on that day. But I thought we were excellent. We deserved the victory. We could have had it could have been 6 or 7-0, and that's not. I'm not, overdoing it saying that. I thought tactically really good performance. All the players put in a shift. Even seeing someone like Casemiro rolling back the years and looking really good, I think he's helped by playing in a back three. It was a really, really good performance. But I kind of like, obviously we're discussing it today, and in our show notes, it's kind of like, could Michael Carrick be the man for the... It's like, it's been one game. In fact, it's been 4 games, and he's got a 75% win ratio.
No, but the question's not about that. The question's not about that. The question's fair enough, Ad. Should he be in contention? Like, if it goes really well, do we just say that Michael Carrick is not in contention because of previous burns involving Ole Gunnar Solskjaer?
I believe, let's say he gets Champions League, he should be allowed to be a candidate.
Yeah, I agree.
But if there's a Luis Enrique, a Thomas Tuchel, someone else available, you can't overlook those.
You disagree, Boo? I could tell when I said that.
Spot on, but it's not. You can't include Enrique's not going to Manchester United. He's just not. Like, you're not at that level. Respectfully, you don't have the squad. You're a million miles away in terms of.
I don't get why you.
Obviously, it's a size of club you should be.
He's at PSG, who are a tiny club.
Yeah, but he had mate. He came in. He had
to
Neymar,
get the Manchester
Messi,
United
Mbappe.
job. Would be completely different.
What we're debating is Carrick. Do you replace Carrick with someone like Iriola? That's what we're really debating.
Or I wouldn't replace. If the options are Carrick or Iriola, I'll stick with Carrick.
Fine. I don't know if Tuchel's involved. Really, I think he'll be looking for a top Champions League club, a little bit above Man United as well. I think Carrick's the perfect candidate.
I think you're coming at this massively wrong.
Well, the thing with Carrick, though,
the way you keep going, Luis Enrique ain't gonna want fancy Man United, or Thomas Tuchel ain't gonna. Mate, it's the biggest carrot for all these managers going to turn Manchester United back into the force. And all these managers don't think like fans where it's like, oh, Man United are awful, they're never going to do it. They think like, I can be the guy to turn this ship around. And if I'm the guy to turn it around, I'm a hero, I'm a legend. No, Luis Enrique and Thomas Tuchel don't look at United and think it's beneath.
They do. They're in their prime. You had Van Gaal 10, 15 years after his prime. Mourinho 10 years after his prime. David Moyes, Sporting Lisbon's manager. Cardiff City's worst ever. You've never hired a manager in their prime in 25, 30 years. Sir Alex Ferguson was a young manager. So you're not going to get Luis Enrique, 1,000,000% cast iron guarantee. You're not getting Luis Enrique.
If Carrick wins 75% of the games remaining this season and Enrique and Tuchel are available, would you stick or twist?
If who and Tuchel was available, sorry?
Enrique, Tuchel, like a manager of that real elite caliber. Would you say thanks, Carrick, appreciate it, and go with one of those two? Like, does it have to be that top tier level, even if Carrick absolutely delivers?
It also depends on what is going on behind the scenes, isn't it? Results aren't the main thing. Like, you want to see progression behind the scenes, training, how's a team performing, all those kind of things. Like, if we just beat City with a smash and grab 1-0 on the weekend, I don't think anyone's really having this conversation about it. It's because the performance was so good. Let's see if that continues over the next, how many games has he got in charge? Like 16 or 17 games. Let's see if that continues. But for me, we can't get swayed. Give him an opportunity to prove himself. Give him an opportunity to maybe interview for the job. But you've got to be able to have those other candidates there lined up. And unlike Buvey, I think United can still attract.
Do you think
Ancelotti's the one? He's past his prime. He's a world-class manager. He's way past his prime. 10 years past his prime. He'll go to Man United. That's the point I'm trying to make. Luis Enrique is number one manager in the world.
10 years past his prime, and he's won like a multiple
trophies
in that last 10 years.
Yeah. You've not hired a manager in their prime for many, many years.
Do you think Carrick gets you top 4?
I think it's a toss-up between us, Liverpool, Chelsea. And I think Liverpool and Chelsea have shown they'll drop points. The problem for us is that we have got some big fixtures in that.
Liverpool, Chelsea both have Champions League distraction or whatever.
Yeah. I think it's out of us three, and I think we can stay above Chelsea, and we can catch Liverpool. I think it's the point.
Carrick got it right, didn't he? Like, selection-wise, tactically, he got it right.
Well, he dropped Sesko. Yeah. He dropped Cunha.
Yeah.
He got it right.
And who do you think benefited from Carrick's changes? Fernandes?
Kobbie Mainoo being on a pitch. I think Casemiro benefited from not being one of two and being one of three, so that he always had someone really, really close to him. I think the centre-backs looked a lot more comfortable in what they were doing. I think when you look at when we played with 3 centre-backs, for example, Lenny Yoro, who I think huge potential as a centre-back, he was playing in a position that was unusual to him because he was on like the right or the left of the 3 centre-backs. getting dragged into right or left back positions. And
Should we just pop them all?
Let's pop them all now.
Yeah.
what are they popping because of? The heat.
Can't you just do it with your hands? Can't you pop a balloon?
Me?
Yeah.
How else am I going to pop it?
Squeeze it.
You do
Squeeze
it
that.
that way.
Go on. See if you've got skill.
You do it then.
No, I'm not popping.
go on,
James, pop.
No, I'm all right, actually.
You can't pop a balloon.
There you go, Buvey.
Go on, you do it.
Mate,
No,
why
I
can't you
agree
pop a
with you,
balloon?
Sam.
You did a great job.
Me, I agree with you.
How do you pop
Look,
a balloon without making a noise?
Use your hand.
You're doing
No, you're allowed to.
I didn't say don't make a noise.
Nobody said don't make a noise.
You're doing a brilliant
You can't
job,
do it with your
mate.
hand.
Squeeze it. You can't do it. Look, he's scared.
Oh shit, he did it.
You said that without making a
Are
noise.
you
What
mad?
are you on about?
Nobody
No one said
don't
make
make a noise. What are you on about?
I'm popping them.
You're going to call the police?
Yeah, Lenny Yarrow being pulled out of position and being in right back position sometimes didn't help him at all. And yeah, I just think the team looked a lot more comfortable in the system. And what we've seen from Michael Carrick over the 4 games he's already had for United, if you include those last 3, which have been pretty difficult opposition, is that he's not afraid to change things up. We saw 3 different systems or 3 different formations against Chelsea, Villarreal, Arsenal the first time around. So it'd be interesting to see how he lines up against Arsenal.
I love the way he platformed those players. He said, Bruno, you're a 10, go be creative. And he was just playing like sometimes a quarterback in the 10. Everything he did was brilliant. Mainu, you're right, alongside Casemiro. Felt like Casemiro could commit to the tackle because there were players around him. The back 4 knew what they were doing. Shaw wasn't playing as either a wing back or a left centre back. He was playing as a left back, doing what he does. And everything just looks simplified. And I think when you look at Thomas Frank struggling, the way it ended for Enzo Maresca, how it went for Amorim. There's been a lot of managers where there's been a lot of promise. I think if things go really well for Carrick, and I know it's so, you want to keep really clear-headed and go, no, don't get swayed by everything. We did this with Ollie. But it's like we talked about in the watch-along. Ollie ultimately did a lot of good. Yeah, he wasn't the answer for where United wanted to be, but he did do a lot of good. I think if things go right for Carrick, there's going to be a real temptation to say, this is an upward trajectory. Like, just stick with it.
I think they should. I don't think it should be is this. And I think most people disagree with me, but I don't think it should be this. No matter what he does, he doesn't get the job.
I agree with you.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree with
It's
you.
their best performance in 18 months.
Yeah.
I'm a Man United fan. I don't know.
18 months, possibly 10 years.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but
Genuinely? Maybe.
90-minute performance. Outside of the
Unreal.
FA Cup final against City, which I thought were excellent, but we were a bit dogged towards the end. We had to battle. That
best
should have been
performance
6
for
or
10
7.
years.
You said 6 and no one laughed.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you're spot on.
We had the ball in the net 6.
Could have been 6 or 7.
5 times.
But what I don't understand is
3
that
disallowed goals.
there's so much loyalty to Ruben Amorim. A lot of Man United fans have this kind of Stockholm syndrome every week. Let's just keep him going. But Michael Carrick doesn't have any of that kind of loyalty with a lot of United fans. It's almost like, yeah, we should be already putting pressure on the board to hire this guy full time. He knows the Man United way.
No, we shouldn't be doing that yet.
Not
It's
yet.
like underestimating of what he can do at the club. In my opinion.
Especially if, at the moment, we could look at it and maybe it's just a new manager bounce. You're playing Man City, first game, Stretford End all in unison. It can happen. But let's see what happens now. You've got Arsenal on the weekend. Let's see what
They'll beat
happens.
them lot, guaranteed. Guaranteed.
I've heard your
I'm nervous
guarantees a
about
lot
that.
this season.
I'm nervous about
Guaranteed.
that.
Well, the first one's Luis Enrique's not going to Man United. What do you think of that one?
I think I
Do
agree
you,
with
by
that.
the way, bro, whilst Luis Enrique might not come to Manchester United, do you agree with his stance that those managers would see United beneath them?
No, I think actually the truth lies somewhere between you two. I think I used to think like you, and I've had to just redefine it as such. I used to, when I say used to, I mean like a month ago. I used to constantly go, Manchester United are capable of this. Manchester United, the institution, represent that. Manchester United are still the most alluring proposition. And I don't think it's quite that anymore. But equally, I don't think it's the demotion that Buvey was presenting it as.
I think the pull's still there. You guys got Mbermo when Newcastle wanted them. And you see things like Gallagher going to Tottenham over Villa. And it's just little things that it's sad to say. Well, maybe it's not sad to say, but there's certain clubs that I think as bad as it goes, there will be a degree of I want to play for.
Manchester United certainly have the degree, absolutely. But they don't have the
if the money's there.
Also, with
Enrique,
managers,
I
it's
think,
not
would
like,
take it.
right, maybe Pep leaves in the summer and then the City job comes. And I have no doubt that unless someone really loves United, they'd choose City over United. I'm not that daft. But, like, managers as well, they have to, with a player, anyone can sign a player.
Yeah.
Even if you've got 2 wingers, you can sign another winger.
But Enrique's a unicorn. He's number 1 in the world. I think he's above Pep in terms of what he's doing with PSG. He just won a treble.
Do you think he's
not
currently
go-
the
he's
best
not going.
manager in the world, Luis Enrique?
Just
I
said
think he's above Pep.
currently.
I think he's above Pep.
Currently.
But Tuchel's not in
legacy-wise.
that discussion.
No,
That's why I think he could go to Man United.
Guardiola didn't win the league, and
Just won a treble.
Luis Enrique won a treble for the first time
Smashed
ever.
you up in the semis, remember?
I hear that. Yeah, smash.
Also,
still have Pep.
yeah, I'm inclined to think that the truth lies somewhere between the two.
Pep's 2, I think.
Yeah,
But Tuchel's maybe top 10 in the world. That's why I think he goes to Man United, or Ancelotti's top 10. But Enrique, for me, is clear number 1 in his prime. I don't think he'd go to Man United. That's just the one example.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of agree, because you know where I keep hearing it as well? I keep hearing it about Cole Palmer going to United. And my answer is, I don't know what's in it for Cole Palmer.
Plays for his club.
Yeah, I suppose if you're a fan, it's hard to argue with that, but that's not rational. Like, if he was a Macclesfield fan,
but let's say we finish above Chelsea, right?
Yeah,
Just,
but
let's
Cole
say we
Palmer,
get fifth,
if Cole
sixth.
Palmer is the player that we all think he is, he hasn't been playing well, and he's injured again, he's going to have surgery, there's debate as to whether he'll go with England. There's loads of conversations around that. But I think we all kind of agree that Cole Palmer is one of the best in the world when he's on form. I don't know why he'd go to Man United at the moment.
I think for United, though, now is the time. If anyone was gonna get him, now's the time to try and get him.
Yeah, I think he'll leave in the summer. By the way, I think he'll leave in the summer.
Where do you think he goes? If you had to predict it,
everybody's saying Man United, and I'm kind of tapping into the debate that you were just having there. You was effectively the question you asking is why United, right? You're going when Adam's saying this manager, that manager. Your answer is why United.
Yeah,
I'm kind of going to say the same thing with regard to Cole Palmer. Why United?
The difference with transfers is that they can afford it's big money. Like Barcelona should be linked to Cole Palmer. They're not going to spend money on him.
Yeah.
You talk Man United could easily spend 110 million quid on him.
Yeah,
your owners being
we'll take
what
the money.
they are.
We'll take the money. Yeah.
No,
for us to get Cole Palmer, we'd have to be in the Champions League. But also, like, he goes home back to Manchester or Cheshire or wherever
Man United
he was
fan.
living. Man United fan. He's probably uncomfortable at Chelsea. And you remember, like I've been saying for about a year and a half, 2 years, he comes to Man United at some point in his career.